Bulbasaur is the best starter Pokemon of all time, and I have 10 reasons to tell you why. Number 10, it's a frog dinosaur. Just look at this thing. Is it a frog? Is it a dinosaur? Is it a toad? It's all of these things just mushed together like a Pokemon sandwich with a little flower on. Number 9 is a freaking flower. Like, I just understand how cool this is, right? That Bulbasaur is not just a living animal, but a living plant at the same time. Like most plant-type Pokemon, and this is true, most plant-type Pokemon are like, you know, plants. Like Bellsprout, Oddish, and then you have like the grass starters, which are like reptile plants. Like they're not actually plants, they're reptiles. And then you have Bulbasaur, which is a freaking frog dinosaur, right? So that's awesome. And then it has this blossoming flower on its back, so it grows with you. You get it? It grows with you on your adventure. That's why you need to pick it, because it grows with you. Number 8, it is the first multi-type starter. So if you're into complexity, well, I have good news for you, because Bulbasaur is the way to go. And if you tell me Charizard is the first multi-type starter, I will smack you, so just back away, get back down in your seat, and tape your mouth shut. Or go watch the, Charmander video that I uploaded a few days ago. You could do that too. I don't know, you could do that too. I'm just saying, you could just do that. You could do that too. Bulbasaur is grass and poison, and if you didn't know, grass and poison was a very common type in the first generation, with, I believe, only Tangela being the only first-gen grass Pokemon to not have the poison typing. So it is not an original typing, but Bulbasaur is the flagship one. If you pick Bulbasaur, there's no reason for you to pick any other one. So Bulbasaur is far and away the most common one of the first generation Pokemon for that very reason. So let's just enjoy the fact that Bulbasaur has type complexity, little advantages and disadvantages that you get to learn early if you pick it, as opposed to other starter Pokemon, right? Number 7, Ash's Bulbasaur. So I've been bringing up the anime in a lot of these just because Ash had a lot of them, and they were very major character points in the anime. But Ash's Bulbasaur was a really interesting character, which a lot of like these don't get. Like I called Charizard and Squirtle previously super sassy, and if you didn't see those, you should go check them out too. But I think Ash's Bulbasaur is a lot deeper and more complex of a character, which I find really interesting. It did not want to evolve because it didn't want to, which I find just so interesting. Not even in the way that Pikachu didn't want to evolve, but just because it liked being like the underdog. That was just a part of its character. It was a bit of a loner, it was a bit of a leader, and all of those characteristics just really appealed, especially in a character that didn't speak English. Like, it was just really interesting to see a character like that develop without any like actual dialogue, and you get this great deep character out of a frog dinosaur turtle. Not a turtle, you get it. Number 6, Sleep Powder was broken. So if any of you have ever played Generation 1, if you were 7 years old like me that picked Squirtle, I'm sorry, I picked Bulbasaur later, and my best friend picked Bulbasaur because he'd always want to get the type advantage up on me, because, well, he also had pretty good taste because Bulbasaur is the best starter Pokemon ever, let's be honest. So he would always pick it, and he would always put me to sleep with Sleep Powder. And Sleep Powder and the whole mechanic of sleep in Generation 1 was completely and utterly broken, because you would wake up and not attack. You would just wake up. It was just a whole wasted turn of wake up, and then you would attack the next turn, which means that if you timed it correctly, you could wake up and then immediately get put to sleep, and you could stay asleep infinitely. So if you're playing Gen 1, Bulbasaur is the way to go, because Sleep Powder is absolutely busted. Number 5, it is the best introductory Pokemon. What I mean by that is, if you're ever going to start a Pokemon game, right, the best way to ever start playing Pokemon for a beginner is by playing Red and Blue with Bulbasaur, because you get the type advantage pretty much until Blaine, right? Well, you don't have type advantage against Koga, and you get resistances against the electric and grass gyms. So you really get amazing defensive typing for the gyms in the region. And then all you really need to worry about is Blaine in the Elite Four as far as building out your team from there, because you know that Venusaur can defensively wall every other gym leader. So if you're trying to get someone into Pokemon and trying to learn the strategies, that is the best way to do it, because you will have the easiest time getting through the game. Because Bulbasaur will carry you like the majestic phoenix rises from the ashes. Your Bulbasaur will carry your team to victory, because that's what Bulbasaur does. Number 4, Mega Venusaur. So if they took the frog dinosaur thing, right, with a flower on its back, and they made it even cooler with vines coming down and the flower like perching up like one of those exotic Amazon flowers, right? That'd be cool. And then you give it an ability that negates 2 of its weaknesses. Well, then you just get a busted, overused Wallmon, right? So that's what we get with Mega Venusaur. A proud alumnus of the Broadway Blastoise, by the way. Mega Venusaur is just an amazing competitive Pokemon that you should always use, given the chance, if you need a good grass type and a Mega Evolution on your team. That thing is busted. Teach that thing Frenzy Plant and watch everything die. Number 3, it will always have your back. Let's be honest, okay? In the Northeast, in the United States, being in a place where Blastoise and Charizard were plastered everywhere, right? If you picked Bulbasaur, it knew that you had to see something in it to pick it. You didn't go off of the cover. You didn't go off of the anime. You went from your heart. You went from what you thought would be the best choice for you. And let me tell you, Bulbasaur appreciates that. Bulbasaur will fight for you, and it will always have your back. If Ash's Bulbasaur teaches you anything about Bulbasaur, is that it is eternally grateful for opportunity. And that's something that Bulbasaur has that Pokemon like Charmander and Squirtle and even other generational Pokemon just don't have. Bulbasaur is just there for you, and it will always be there for you, except Ash's Bulbasaur, which leaves for God knows what reason. Number 2. So, listen to me. You don't like Bulbasaur? If you're sitting there right now with a smug grin on your face saying, "Oh, you get it with an air slash or something," no. Listen to me. If you don't like Bulbasaur, I want you to call your mother right now. Just pause this video, call your mother, and apologize. Apologize for being a disappointment of a child. That's what I want you to do. I want you to go away. Go into your closet and lock the door. Go underneath all those boxes underneath there. Find your original Pokemon Blue and Red cartridges, right, that you've had for all those years. I want you to dig them up, and I want you to throw them out. Because that's what those games mean to you if you don't like Bulbasaur. Just being honest with you, Fred. And number 1, it is number 1. It is. I don't understand. Like again, I don't think I needed to make a list here. It's the best starter Pokemon of all time. It's number 1 in the Pokedex. I don't even think I need to argue here. So, it kind of speaks for itself. Thank you guys so much for watching this series. That's it. It's the end of the series. That's it. I did every single starter Pokemon, so until Generation 8 comes out, that is it. There's no more of these videos coming out for a very, very long time, so I hope you appreciated them. If you have any other feedback, ideas, favorite Pokemon, if you want to add more to the Bulbasaur conversation, leave it down below. If you have another starter that is your favorite, well, I have good news. This was the last one I did. I have a video like this for every single starter Pokemon ever. You can find them in the description in a playlist. You can go to them and watch to your heart's content. I worked really hard on these. They take hours of editing and lots of time preparing and recording. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I said this in the first one. I'm going to say it in the last one. These are parodies, so don't take them too seriously. I love when people do. I find it absolutely hilarious. But, you know, it is what it is. Thank you so much again for 1,000 subscribers and everything. That's the reason I'm uploading all these in like a row. So thank you. And I will see you guys next time.